You guys, the guys sitting in the front here, I will be spitting at you all the time. So, not just kidding. I don't have age or anything, so don't worry. Okay, how do we spend time shows life focus. We spend time with friends and families, right? And then time to study and time to work, right? The way you spend time reveals yourself. If you have a tape recorder like this, and imagine it's recorded 24 hours, it'll tell you a lot about yourself. Now, time treasure, time's up. Spending time with non-believers is called mission. Each one of us, if God saved you, God gives you the opportunity to spend time with non-believers. Also, God gives you the opportunity to spend time with God's family, called the ministry. So if you serve Christ in His church, God's family, the ministry, you go out to the non-believers, called mission. If you go overseas, it's called overseas mission, and you serve here locally. You know, that's why it's very important when I talk about Compassion International. We're not here because we like it here. No, there's a purpose. And a little part of that mission overseas is to support the children. Spending time with God is much better. And the game's over. What will you choose? So the bottom line is, you and I will die. Another aspect of my life that you need to know is that I live life as if I'm going to die tomorrow. I don't know about you. Do you believe that? Because for me, it hit me with a ton of brick. When after I became a Christian at the age of like almost 18, and there were 5 of my friends in college. They were a little bit older because I started school early, remember? And then we're going home from a party from Indiana to Chicago. And early in the morning, because they partied late, and they had a head-on collision with a truck. And they all were killed. And a lot of people ask me, how do you feel about that? You know, that's the first time in my life when I realized that my time is going to be up too. And these guys thought they're going to live forever. And then on and on again. When was the last time you've experienced a death in your family? Our closest for us is grandma. Okay? And so I say to my boys, I'll do whatever I can for you. Because the time will come. I will go too. And so that's what drives me. That's why I come to a point when I realize, you know what? If I stay with the federal government and I take the full retirement in 8 years, that would be good. But you know what? I might not live that long. If you know me, I have medical conditions. I take like 10 pills a day. I have diabetes. And I'm practically blind because I have to use these thick glasses and I have contact lenses. And I forgot my glasses the other day, so good thing I'm not going to read the Bible. You guys are going to read it for me. But I'm not going to live that long. And so that's why I'm recording this, because the day will come. Someone else will hear this message. And so this is very important for you to hear this morning. Why do we stay out of focus? Because there are too many distractions in this world. And if we wanted to be faithful as a Christ follower, we must learn to constantly keep focus in the relationship with Him. Now the rules and the responsibility, they will come. And you will fulfill them. But in the power of your relationship with Christ. The time that God gives you before you die is the time that you're going to use for Him. So let us stand and then read the next few verses with me responsively. Okay? Let's stand. This is from Ephesians 5. Okay? Ephesians 5. I'll start with a small letter and then you guys read the large one. Okay? Be imitators of God, therefore, as dearly beloved children, and live a life of love, just as Christ loved us and gave Himself up for us as a fragrant offering, sacrifice to God. But among you there must not be even a hint of sexual immorality, of any kind of impurity or greed, because these are the improper for God's holy people.
nor should there be obscenity, foolish talk, or foolish jokes, which are out of place, but rather thanksgiving.
For of this you can be sure, no immoral, impure, or greedy person, such a man is an idolater, has any inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and of God.
Let no one deceive you with empty words, for because of such things God's wrath comes on those who are disobedient.
Therefore do not be partners with them. For you were once darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Live as children of light.
For the fruit of the light consists in all goodness, righteousness, and truth.
And find out what pleases the Lord.
Have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of our hearts, but rather expose them.
For it is shameful even to mention what the disobedient do in secret.
But everything exposed by the light becomes visible.
For it is light that makes everything visible. This is why it is said, "Wake up, O sleeper, arise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you."
Be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise.
Making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil.
Therefore, do not be foolish, but understand what the Lord's will is.
Do not get drunk on wine, which leads to debauchery. Instead, be filled with the Spirit.
Speak to one another with psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs. Sing and make music in your hearts to the Lord.
Always give thanks to God the Father for everything, in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Submit to one another out of reverence for Christ.
Thank you. You may be seated. Another verse in Psalm 90:12 says that, "Teach us to number our days aright, that we may gain a heart of wisdom." Okay? Let me go back and explain to you what this text is. Remember the title, Time, Text, and Time's Up? When we talk about text, since text, money is an M, so I would figure out, well, text is like money. Because the more tax you pay, the more money likely you have. With a few exceptions, some corporations actually have less money, but they don't pay a whole lot of tax, but they have a lot of money. But for the most part, if we pay tax, that means we have lots of money. And so time, tax, money, or time's up. Money earned minus money spent equals extra time. Now, think about this. I know it's a challenge for some of you. Money earned, that means how much you make, minus how much you spend, is the extra money that you're going to use to, instead of making money, you have the extra time. Does that make sense? I know it's kind of early for this math, but also people say the kind of skill you have will give you more money you earned. But still, you're like that movie star that spent all the money he got. He spent more money than he earned. He ended up having very little time left. So here's the equation. Extra time to do something else other than spending or earning money is the goal of life. Because remember, Jesus says you're saved for a purpose. You're saved in Ephesians 2 for good works. So therefore, you've got to make sure you got this time. Because if all you do is you earn the money, you spend the money, therefore you have zero extra time to do anything else. If we want to spend time in having an intimate relationship with Jesus, we need extra time. That's in a nutshell. Choose Christ cause your calling, your purpose requires extra time. So this is what we figured out in 25 years. Me and my wife, we need to be frugal fanatics. To spend as little as we can, maximizing what we have. Don't have to go work a whole lot. Earn as little money, but enough so that we always have extra time. And the extra time is to be with Jesus. And to do His mission. Okay? Now, this might be difficult for you. And so we're available for you. If you want to work on time management, we'll work with you. So in the future, we'll talk about this on a practical level. But let's go back to the chapter that we just studied. Okay, be imitators of God, therefore, as dearly loved children, and live life of love, just as Christ loved us, and gave himself up for us as a fragrant of offering and a sacrifice to God. Here's the motivation. Why do we do what we do? We do what we do not because we have to, but because we